It's a game.
I came up from nothing, nigga, you can't tell me shit, yeah. Did it on my own, check out my neck, check out my wrist, yeah.
I swear I ain't never expected it to be like this. Now a nigga getting rich.
YouTube, what is very good? I'm coming at y'all with a video because I'm going to play NBA 2K18 early, and I'm going to be talking to the devs about things that I think need to be fixed. I've came up with my own list. I feel that 95 to 97% of y'all are definitely highly going to agree with me. And if anybody feels that I missed anything or anything like that, then feel free to comment what you feel needs to be fixed below. So let's get it. First off, I got the baseline foul. That has to be one of the most annoying and biggest glitches in the game, and I'm sure most people agree. Baseline foul is where you go baseline, you can literally walk the baseline, and if the defender bumps you, then it's going to be a blocking foul. There will not be an out of bounds called at all whatsoever. It's either a blocking foul or a bucket. After that, I have bigger courts. So the courts got to be expanded, man. They're too small. It's too easy for one defender to guard two people. The courts definitely need to be expanded for better court spacing purposes. After that, I have passing animations. So basically what I mean by this is the lob passing. That has got to be the worst. There are no like bullet passes in the game to where my player will just throw a regular normal touch pass like straight to the person. So what I mean is like the defender can literally move off of their person 3 to 4 to 5 steps, and I can see him open, and I could pass him the ball immediately, and my player will throw a lob pass, which then gives the defender time to get back to his man and contest the shot, if not steal the pass. Like, that just has to go, man. Lob passes have to go. They gotta go. They gotta go. Up after that, I have more control over my dribbling, but not just my dribbling, my player in general. So the best example I could give you guys would be 2K15, to where I feel both were balanced, to where I had full control over my dribbling, my full dribbling system, and I just felt I had the best control over my player. Like, I wasn't getting dragged by anything, I wasn't getting pulled by the arrow, or none of that. I just felt I had best control over my player, and the dribbling system was great. So moving on. Some people say it should be more of a skill when it comes to rebounding, and I sort of agree. Me as a point guard, I should not be able to box out a 7-foot, 7'1", 7'2", etc. glass cleaner, or any big man for that matter. They should be able to either power me out the way or do a sort of swim move and get positioning for the rebound. There's no way I should be able to box them out and get the rebound. So I feel that there has to be some type of mechanic or more in-depth mechanic on the rebounding. So moving on to the next one, which is a very important one. Every shot should be able to green. Certain shots should not be better than other shots. If you're wide open and you know your shot and you release it right and get everything timed perfect, it should be green. No matter what. No matter what. And you should not have to wait to shoot the ball. If I throw you the ball, you should be able to shoot immediately. You have certain shots that you gotta wait to green, and then you have certain shots that only green if you catch and shoot it immediately. Like, this is ridiculous, man. This is ridiculous. All of these things have to change and have to be fixed immediately. Immediately. Coming up next, which goes hand to hand with basically what I just said, is greens should be in the game. I remember seeing Mike Wing and them talk about that we rely too much on greens, which I highly disagree with. I feel if you kill your defender and you're wide open and you know your shot and you time your release right, then you should be able to get green. You should not have to rely on a full white to go in. I mean, you should be able to get green, and that's just the end of it. Like, greens should be in the game. So after that, I have post moves, pull-ups, floaters, and off the dribble shots should all work. So basically, post fadeaways, floaters, drifters, basically the whole shot creator build, I feel should work even if it isn't a shot creator. I feel just because you're a glass cleaner doesn't mean you can't up and under. Just because you're not a shot creator or just because you're a playmaker doesn't mean you can't do a floater. Like, I feel that all of them should be high quality shots even if you're another archetype. I don't feel that you should have to be or be forced to be a shot creator to do a drifter or an off the dribble shot. I mean, some NBA players are better at shooting off the dribble than they are spot up. I don't think you should be forced to be a shot creator to have a high quality or high percentage shot in doing a drifter. It should not be a C plus or a D minus or a D because I'm a playmaker trying to do a drifter. No. Or a floater or anything for that matter. I feel it should be a high quality shot if it's a high quality shot. Up next, I have break starter needs to work. So break starter definitely needs to work. Obviously they're gonna have to find a middle ground on it because of course it can't be like 2K16 where I could literally be standing at the underneath the other side of the court under that basket and it's being thrown to me on a perfect mark. But it does need to work to a certain extent. I don't know how they're gonna do it or how they would do it. One idea is that if you have your grand badge as a center with Hall of Fame break starter, then you need to be able to throw that break starter pass because it's thrown in the real NBA. And otherwise, it's just a irrelevant badge. It's like, why is it even there if it's not working? So one idea would be if a center has his grand badge and he's a glass cleaner or post scorer with Hall of Fame break starter or whatever, then it needs to be able to be thrown. So it definitely needs to work. So after break starter, I have interceptor needs to be a badge again, which I feel that most of you will agree. I feel that everybody feels that interceptor needs to be a badge again. Then I have playmakers should be able to shoot threes consistently. The reason I say playmakers is because I feel that like most point guards in the NBA can shoot. I mean, I can understand. I could see them making it to where lockdowns and glass cleaners can't really shoot threes. But I feel that they should be able to shoot threes too. I feel that every archetype should be able to shoot threes to a certain extent. Next on the list, I have the grading out system. So I feel that the grading out system should only be used for walk-on. I don't feel it should be in ProAm and especially comp ProAm, basically meaning the ELeague. So the ELeague, I'm pretty sure there won't be a grading out system. But for walk-on, I feel that there should be a grading out system. Not ProAm. Not actual ProAm. And definitely not the ELeague. Coming up next, I have there should be a reward for hitting Elite 6. And especially hitting Elite 6 first. So last year we hit Elite 6 first and got nothing. Not even recognition. Like, there was nothing for hitting Elite 6 and definitely not hitting Elite 6 first. So I feel that there should be some type of reward, and especially for hitting it first. Up next, I have grinding your player is a bit excessive. It needs to be fairly easier. The grind to get your player done, fully done. I mean, plus ones, badges, upgrades, it's too much, man. I feel like it's too much. I feel like it's a bit excessive and they need to tone it down a bit. I feel like they need to tone it down a bit. Next on the list, which I know big men are definitely going to agree with me on, is making players jump / foul without them even pressing a button. And that needs to go. I could be sitting there with my hands up. Nothing else, no other button being pressed or anything. Just right stick up or right stick down or whatever. And the player could pump fake and pump fake and pump fake until eventually it's going to make me jump. And then he's going to get an easy layup or a dunk. And that needs to be attended to immediately. They need to fix that now. Next up, I have basically, again, with the passing system, which is where they will make you throw a bounce pass without you even pressing the bounce pass button. They will make you throw a lob pass without you even pressing the lob pass button. If you're making me throw all these passes, why is there even a bounce pass button? I just don't get it. So that's something I talked to the devs to about before, and hopefully they have it fixed for 18, man. For the next one, man, all I gotta say is the referees gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. Next up, I have the inbounds. I don't know what they did to inbounding, but they gotta fix it, man. Like, 4 people standing on the inbound, somebody tipping it, it bouncing off my body, or them getting a steal and then with the 1 foot and a leg up and just over the inbounds. Like, they just got to fix the inbounding. They got to fix the inbounds. Coming after that, I have you should be able to change team owners in ProAm. And I'm sure everyone agrees. I shouldn't have to delete my team just because I want to go, play with another team or whatever. I feel I should be able to give it to one of my boys and let them hold it down until I'm ready for it back or whatever. I should be able to change team owners. Coming up after that, I have the blocking fouls coming up the court. I just feel they need to be toned down a little bit. Not fully taken out the game, but just toned down. It's to the point to where if I'm playing good D and pressing somebody coming up the court, they just give me a blocking foul and bless the person. And I'm playing good defense. I mean, I feel they just need to be toned down a little bit. So, next on the list, I have something that goes hand in hand with the blocking fouls coming up the court, which is the charges coming up the court. So, people basically getting rewarded for doing nothing. I don't know how many of you guys played 2K10 or 2K11, but back then, it took more skill to get that charge. So then, back then, you could bump somebody and press the B button and get a charge. At least then it took more skill. I feel they need to put that back in the game to where instead of just rewarding somebody with a charge without them doing anything for it, at least this way it takes a little bit more skill to where I have to bump you and create that contact and then press B and get the charge. I feel like that needs to come back. Coming up next, I have recovery on defense is just way too easy. And that goes for just overall defense. Whether it's baiting, leaving somebody wide open and being able to recover, jumping, and then being able to get your second jump immediately, that has to change. Just recovery on defense in general is way too easy. Coming up next on the list, I have you should be able to call zone in ProAm, which I know that everybody agrees with. After that, I have hold ball too long should not be in the game. And what I mean by that is basically it should not affect my shot. It should not affect my shot. If I'm holding the ball as a point guard or whatever, and I'm wasting clock or waiting for a play to develop, my shot should not be affected by that. Why is it affected by that? Why am I unable to green or get a good shot quality for holding the ball too long? That makes no sense to me. It never will. It never will. Up next on the list, I have there should be rep for ProAm. I don't feel like we shouldn't be included just because we want to play ProAm. I mean, y'all make us go play Park for our extra 2-3 upgrades. So why can't we be included on the quest to legend? Why can't we be the first legend? You know what I'm saying? We got to go play Park for our upgrades, but we can't get rep and be included on the race to first legend? We need rep for ProAm too. After that, I have load ups should just be out the game. After load-ups, I have contact dunks should be more effective. I think they should just be more effective. Coming up after contact dunks, I think I speak for everybody in the Xbox community when I say the loading screens. Something has to be done with the loading screens, man. It's literally ridiculous, like how long it takes to load in and out of everything. Coming up after loading screens, I have you should be able to fully customize your player's everything. When I say everything, I'm sure you guys know. You know that one dunk that just seems to be in every dunk package? It just doesn't leave no matter what dunk package you use or take off. It's just always there. I feel like little things like that you should be able to take off or add if you want it, like for that matter. But I feel like you should be able to customize your everything. That behind the back I can't have, or that step back I can't have because I have on Elite 3, so I can't have the normal 5 step back. Like, just, I feel like I should be able to customize everything. If I want that step back with this Elite 3 with this behind the back, I should be able to do that. Like, so I feel like you should be able to customize your players' everything. Coming up after that, I have the Pro-Am roster should be 15 people. In the real NBA, I believe you get 15 people. If not 15, then we should at least get 12. We should at least get 12 people, if not 15. So moving on to the next one, I am not a park player, but this is referring to park. So referring to park, I feel you should be able to wear your Pro-Am jerseys in park. I think that's something that they are able to do, and that'd be pretty cool if you could wear your Pro-Am unis in park. I think that'd be pretty cool. Coming up next, which is something that is highly requested from the whole community, which is a badge tracker for my career, which is like highly requested, and which I totally agree with. I feel that we should know how close we are to whatever badge we're going for and how much we need for that badge. Like, I feel like all of that should be within the game. Up after that, I have brick wall needs to be nerfed, which I'm sure it will, and I'm sure everyone agrees with this. Brick wall is OP. Up next, I have double teams need to be more effective. This was requested by a few people, and I kind of agree with it. I feel like it needs to be more effective. I feel like double teams are a little bit too easy to get out of, so I feel like they need to be a bit more effective. Coming up next is something I thought about, and I know it would be a great feature and make the game mode so much more fun. And it's co-op my career mode, man. They kind of did it with the orange juice and Justice thing, but if I want to invite my boy and he's a glass cleaner or a big man, and I'm a point guard, that makes going for badges so much easier and so much more fun. Like, I feel that needs to be implemented into the game. Co-op career mode. You heard it here first. So, going back to Pro-Am, I have announcers are needed for Pro-Am. It's too dead in the Pro-Am, man. Announcers are definitely needed. It needs to be more excitement in it. Like, it needs announcers bad. It needs it bad. Up next, I have when a defender pokes the ball loose, he should have an advantage at getting the ball first, which I agree with. And this is coming from a playmaker. I feel like if I get plucked, the defender should have an advantage at getting the ball first. Like, I've seen too many times people get plucked and they just keep getting the ball back and getting the ball back and getting the ball back. I feel that the defender/defense needs to have the advantage at getting the ball. Just my personal opinion, though. Up next, I have something that was requested by my viewers, which is Pro-Am practice mode. They want a Pro-Am practice mode within the Pro-Am. So I guess I don't know if they mean you go in and play against 5 computers, but they want a Pro-Am practice mode. Another thing that was recommended was more control over animations. You get pulled and put into so many uncontrollable animations that I agree. You need to have more control over the animations that you get pulled and put into. Up next, I have make hop steps, spin layups, and Euro steps meaningful again. They're so non-used and like underrated. They need to be good again, back like it was in 15 and 14 and 13 and so on. Like, they used to be good. They need to be good again, and a higher percentage shot. Coming up next, this is a tricky one because I know some people would abuse it in some ways, but for the more top tier and comp players, they will use it the right way, which is being able to pick your positions for Pro-Am. So, like, if I'm the point guard, I want to play the point guard. Like, or if I'm the shooting guard and I want to play small forward, I want to be able to click on the small forward. Like, if I'm a power forward, I want to be able to click on the 5, you know, if I want to play the 5. Like, depending on your team and how you guys run it, I think you should be able to pick positions in Pro-Am as you do team up or whatever. Up next, which is another thing Pro-Am related, is having an actual arena like they do in team up and 1v1 for Pro-Am. We don't want to play in a fake gym. We want to play in an actual arena and have that team feel again. Like an actual game feel again. Like, that's what we want. We want to play in real arenas. Coming up next, which will make dominating the leaderboards even more fun, is individual leaderboards. In-depth leaderboards like it used to be in 2K10 and 2K11, where there was weekly, all-time, monthly, number 1 in assists, number 1 in points, number 1 in rebounds, like number 1 in field goal percentage, number 1 in turnovers. Like, you guys got to bring that type of stuff back. That's what made us love the game in the first place. Like, we love little things like that. In-depth leaderboards, please bring them back. And last but not least, I have unnecessary celebrations. We should have to press celebration button like we do in my career. I feel like every other mode needs to be just like my career when it comes to celebrations. We should have to press right on the D-pad to celebrate, or whatever the button is. Like, we should have to press the button to celebrate. And there it is, everybody. My NBA 2K18 wish list, so to say. Y'all know I feel like I covered everything for the most part, but if you feel like I left anything out, please put it in the comment section below, and I'm gonna try to get it to the devs. Appreciate everybody tuning in and supporting me, man. Appreciate all the feedback on Twitter, and y'all already know, man, it's your boy Dimez. Follow me on Twitter, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gone. You turn up with me, and I'ma turn up with you, baby. I'm going, y'all. Love.
Every day we lit, yeah. You can't tell me shit, yeah. Remember I was broke, yeah.